Today's activity is all about how to increase the silver that you are gaining from your activities. So we're going to be showing a bunch of different gathering. We're starting off with a tier 6 red zone gathering. Everything is filmed on the West server, and that's what prices will reflect. They should be similar on your server in due time. On Europe, right now, Europe is a little crazy, but give it a month, those prices will normalize just like on West. So here I am farming the red zone just to see, can I earn more silver per hour? And here I am putting the stuff up. Now, I got pretty lucky in the red zone. And yes, this is only a 15-minute sample, not a 30-minute sample. Now, I'm going to go over what I earned in just a little bit. And so don't feel like you need to rewind or anything. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how to improve it, how to milk it for as much silver as possible. Now, this is blue zone skinning, which I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, I earned slightly less than the red zone gathering, but at the same time, I didn't receive any baby drops, I didn't receive any tome drops, I didn't get any enchanted mob drops at all, none of that stuff. And I think if I kept going, I didn't even do a full lap in 15 minutes, it's kind of slow today. But we're going to talk about that. I still think that blue zone earns more, and I'm going to show you why later in the video, but first we got to go over everything else that we farm. So this is tier 4 blue zone stone mining, and I want to note that I am only mining tier 2 and tier 3 stone. And on this one, I didn't use journals. I used journals in the red zone and the blue zone for skinning. I didn't use journals for this one, but I can estimate the journal earnings and talk about that. Again, this is all later in the video, so just stay tuned for that. But just doing a very small loop around a tier 4 blue zone, mining stone is still pretty good silver per hour. And all of this is filmed without premium, by the way. And I did use a tier 7 gathering set in the red zone, where I'm using tier 8 Avalonian sets in the yellow and blue zones, because why not? Now this is a little break from gathering. I got a little bored, and I found a legendary tier 4 dungeon. It's only tier 4, but I decided, hey, let's see how much silver we can earn if we were able to just back-to-back run tier 4 blue zone legendary dungeons, okay? You almost never see these things, but it was like 17k or something. I'm not going to really factor this in later in the video. And then also, I decided, hey, let's do some tier 5 yellow zone fishing. Someone told me that you can earn more silver per hour in the Limhurst zones than in the mists, and I don't think that's true. So that's why I'm filming in a Limhurst zone. And, you know, fishing is just pretty basic. I just go to the fishing puddles. And I'm doing animation cancels. I only failed 2 casts. One is because a player approached me, and the other one is because I misclicked, and that's really it. So there's really not much to improve on this at all. Basically, you know, the problem I have with fishing is you have to keep your eyes peeled to the screen to be able to fish. It's really cumbersome. It cramps my hand. What do we have next? Oh, this is just putting the fish into the appropriate chest. And we're going to go over how to increase these earnings in just a bit. Now, this one's a little cheeky. This one is Faction Heart Transport Ganking, which I'm going to tell you right now, even though the timer says it's like 39 seconds in, I didn't find any more transports. It is a Sunday morning. There's not a lot of players on. But surprisingly, I didn't find a single bot. No bots are running the routes that they normally run. So I don't know if all the bots moved to Europe, or if they got banned. I don't know, because I haven't been tracking the bot names by putting their name in a chest. This guy decided to try to defend his faction ally. But I took him down, and then I take down this guy that's overweight because he's transporting faction hearts, and there we go. So, again, that's like 200k in like a minute. Though I will say, in 15 minutes time, I did not find any more faction heart transports. So this is technically 15 minutes worth of earnings if you think about it. Let's start with our tier 6 red zone skinning. We used a tier 7 spear set, and channel members know why I'm using the spear. But essentially, I use a tier 7, you know, skinning knife, 15 minutes into a red zone. We managed to fill one entire journal, and we have a second journal that was about 3/4 of the way, you know, finished, you know. But let's go ahead and extrapolate the value of the Gamekeeper's journal here. So if I sell this right now, estimated market value 16,000, but I do have a tier 6 house here, and I don't think I have tier 6 furniture in here, but if I gave this to a laborer, I can expect to get back 0 to 42 heavy hides. So, why don't we just say, for the sake of it, that, you know, it's up to 42, it's not exactly, it would be average like a 21 per journal, but because we're so close to filling this one, let's just go ahead and call it 42, why not? Alright, well, it turns out that 42 heavy hide is worth less than the journal. So what if we just added, that's a little bit too much. How about half of this, maybe? It's really hard to estimate journals without actually doing them, and I'm not going to wait an entire day to film a video. I'm sorry. That'll put me behind. So let's just say this is 24K worth. We'll add 24K to the value. Does that sound good to you guys? So if we do it this way, and these are really rough numbers because 15 minutes goes into 1 hour 4 times, we can estimate that 840K silver per hour. And I will say that we got pretty lucky because we have this 5.3 resources that's worth 50K. That's pretty damn good. Also got just a regular Tome of Insight drop that's almost worth 16K at the moment. So again, you normally won't get these drops in a red zone hardly ever. Not a whole lot of tier 6 resources though, so that's a bit unlucky, but you don't really find a lot anyway. So let's move on now. Now we have the Tier 4 Blue Zone earnings, and there was no lucky drops here. Yeah, we have a Tier 5 treasure from, a hidden treasure, but you get these all the time in Blue Zones, and it's only like 4,000. It's really not a lot. Some other useless treasures, 800. We have 4.1 hides, 9,000. You normally get 4.2, 4.3s. You normally get babies. You normally get tome drops because you can skin so damn fast and kill enemies so damn fast. You almost always average 1 to 2 to 3 every 30 minutes, and I didn't get any. So, very unlucky day for me, but we did fill 27 journals. So, right now, these journals are worth 19,580, and if we take one of these are Tier 2 journals, by the way. If I take a Tier 2 journal and turn it into a laborer, then it will give me a 57 rugged hide. So, what we can do is we can convert these Gamekeeper journals to rugged hide. So, let me do that real quick. So if we round down the value, so here's how we did the math. 27 Tier 2 journals becomes 1,539 Tier 2 hide. A Tier 2 hide, as you can see, is worth 44 silver. So you take 1,539 times 44, which will give you 67,716. We then take the value without the journals, which is 120,000, which is rounded up, unfortunately, by 300. And then we add 67,000, which is rounded down by 700, and we get a clean number of 187,000. And at this point, we get 748,000 per hour, which, well, it's losing to the red zone right now. It absolutely is losing to the red zone, and that's unfortunate. That's what happens when you get 0 luck in the blue zone, and you get good luck in the red zone. It does happen from time to time. It does happen. I will admit it happens. But let me show you the one downside that we haven't talked about yet about this small comparison. And that is, if you look at the set that I'm wearing in order to go to the red zone, this set is worth 353,000 silver. So if I were to die, I'm down 353,000 silver, which is going to take... what is that? It's going to take at least 30 minutes to break even on that with a little bit of spillover, like 40, 50K spillover. So I have to survive 30 whole minutes and get that loot back to town in order to get that. But if let's say I farm 1 hour in the red zone and I die, okay? And this set's not built to carry an hour's worth of farm anyway. It was like I was at 100% weight with just the tier 3 horse and the tier 5 bag and the tier 7 Skinner backpack. So it's only built for farming 15 minutes at a time anyway. But let's just assume I could carry more or decided to carry more, and I farmed, 30 minutes. Well, that's 400K plus 353K, and then a ganker gets me. So I lost 753K and 30 minutes of my time, which sucks. But in the blue zone, as you can see, we're 50K less an hour. We're 50K less an hour with 0 luck, the worst possible luck you can have, and there's 0 risk. There's absolutely 0 risk. But there is one other thing that we can do in order to raise this number even more, which I'm not going to bother showing because I'm going to show it in the next one. But you could refine the rugged hide on a bonus day. You can take it to Martlock and refine it and get a nice little bonus. And refining tier 2 materials is completely free, whereas the stuff in the red zone, we didn't get tier 2 hide. You cannot refine anything above tier 2 for free. It costs money. And so there's a whole lot of amount of math you got to do to see if it's even worth doing. But in my opinion, this is why the blue zone is just simply better. Now, if the red zone was like double the amount, I'd be like, dude, just go to red zone. It's always worth it. But because of the risk, it's just not worth it. And again, if we got one baby drop, one tome drop, it would be hella worth it. And I always get the tome and baby drops in the blue zones. And again, this is the worst possible blue zone versus a very, very, very good red zone. Just keep that in mind. Now we have Tier 4 Blue Zone Rock Mining. So the initial earnings in 15 minutes was 140,000. Which, we got one little random drop from a mob here that was a Tier 4 dungeon map. This is worth 3,000. This is piddly. This is nothing, okay? But, again, there are no lucky drops in Tier 2 and Tier 3. There's no tomes. There's no, what else? There's no, like, rocks don't get baby drops, okay? So the only thing that could drop from Tier 4 and above is a tome drop. And, we got some rough stone. You know, why not? I picked it up. It was there. So I'm going to grab it because it's worth 200 each now. And that's, again, on West. But the point is this is flat 140k, no journals. Now, what if we did add journals? So I've looked at all of my past stone mining videos to get an average of how many journals I could technically fill in 15 minutes. And I looked at the highs, the lows, the skipping Tier 4s, and the ones that involved mining Tier 4. Obviously, if I mined a Tier 4 stone, I would fill journals faster, but we're going to go with the low average and round down, and that would be 21 journals, which is much less than the skinning, as you can see, because the skinning one was like 27-something journals. So we're going to go with 21 theoretical journals filled in 15 minutes. So now, with the theoretical journals, which, again, I didn't have them on hand, I didn't feel like buying them, I just wanted to record and get it done. But we rounded down 21 journals, is 57 Tier 2 stone per journal, on the laborers times, 21 journals, 1,197 Tier 2 stone. Then you take that Tier 2 stone, the value of Tier 2 stone, as you can see here right now, is 37. Hold on, can you see it on the screen here? Yeah, estimated value 37 rough limestone. There you go. So with that said, then you multiply it. 1197 times 37 is 4,289. You add that to 140k. Is 184k is the new earnings, the potential earnings. Multiply that by 4 because we only spent 15 minutes gathering. That's 736,000 silver per hour. Now, this is if you just sold it as limestone, but what if we refined? Now, I have the theoretical stone that we would have gotten from the journals, so this would technically be 1 day later, technically. And refining Tier 2 stone is completely free because I live in Bridgewatch, and because I'm harvesting from Bridgewatch. I get a bonus for harvesting stone, but it is not a bonus day. It is not a 20% stone bonus day. And if it was, this number here, this 4736 would be like 42, 45. I don't remember the exact number, but I can't wait to film a video on a stone bonus day to see the exact profits. I'm just going to go ahead and do it now, and I'm not focus crafting. That would be stupid. I'm just going to, go ahead and refine this. I'll be right back. All right, we have finished refining, and you can see that just the Tier 2 stone is worth 253k. We have Tier 3 stone. Let's go get the final value here. And here we are after refining with the theoretical journal stone. It is 283k in value, and if you multiply that by 4, because you can do this 4 times in 1 hour, you got 1.132 million silver per hour, mining just Tier 2 and 3 stone in a blue zone, in a safe zone. Like, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, there is no luck values to be had when mining the stone, so it's consistent and it's always there. So when Reddit tries to tell you you can't farm 1 million silver per hour in a Tier 4 blue zone, they are wrong. So tell me again, why should I risk a 350k set going into the red zone? Why should I, if I have a bad luck day on the skinning, it's not as good, of course, but when luck does hit on skinning, it's better than stone. And if I were to, save up all my Tier 2 hide and take it to Martlock and refine it and then run it back, that's about 15 minutes, or 283k worth of my time, then, yes, I could push skinning even further beyond, but because, you guys that watch me live in Bridgewatch, I live in Bridgewatch. Bridgewatch is the best. It takes no time at all to refine stone. It takes no time at all to mine the stone, etc., etc. So, yes, 1 million per hour achieved. But we got more to discuss. We have fishing. Remember, we did some fishing. All right, so fishing estimated hourly right now. We're gonna improve this, but estimated hourly right now is just 432k. Also, that Tier 4 legendary dungeon we did, if you could run those back to back to back with no travel time, no time in between, took 3.5 minutes to do 2 floors. making 17k in total, then that's 289k an hour. That means like no item drops. That's just silver bags, runes, souls, and relics. Which, again, dungeons suck right now, so you can't rely on dungeons. But let's go back to fishing. Let's look and see what we can do about fishing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the everything below tier 6 fish that isn't rare fish. Like, rare fish is this lurcher, the eel, the crab, and, again, the tier 5 eel. So we're going to chop up all of the, tier 3, 4, and 5 regular normal fish and see if we can increase the value a bit. So here I am at the butcher. You cannot focus chop fish. Tier 3 does not cost anything. Tier 4 costs 188 silver. Tier 5 costs 188 silver. So I'm going to just chop up all this fish real quick. And let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Chop these bad boys. Oh, no, it doesn't cost anything. Never mind. That's estimated market value. All right, so we have chopped up the fish. And we got a little bit of value out of that. Not a whole lot. Let's see how much it improves, though. Alright, so we went from, initial value 108k, and after chopping the fish, we made 4k, so we brought it up to 112k. Still not impressive. Maybe we can try making fish sauce from the fish and the seaweed we got, so let's try that. So here we are, we're going to convert our seaweed to fish sauce, and I don't know which one is the best, so I'm going to craft one at a time, and we're going to see how much estimated market value goes up. We're at 81,102, let's craft a basic. 81,088. I don't, that like went up like not at all. Okay, let's try the fancy one. 81,088. Now we craft this. 81,314, so we made like 300 silver. Okay, what about the special one that takes a lot of seaweed? 81,314. 81,512. So that only went up 200, whereas the fancy one went up 300. And it costs... Oh, maybe the fancy one is the better one because it costs more seaweed or something. I don't know. Yeah, let's just... Wait, it doesn't? No. The special one... Huh? Whatever. Let's just go with the fancy one here and craft the rest of those. That was clearly the best one. Okay, so now let's take it back and see what our value is. Oh, wait, we can cook one more basic fish sauce. Let's go. I think we lost money. I don't know if we lost money on that. Whatever. Let's just go. Alright, now it went from 112k to 113k, so we squeezed out one more 1,000. Okay, so now our new estimated hourly amount is 452k, but I have one more thing to show you or talk about, and that's journals. So I have massively done journal math for fishing, and the most tier 8 journals I can fill per hour... Like, my record for filling a tier 8 journal is 47 minutes or 44 minutes. Somewhere around that line. And so that's going to add 150,000 to the value, bringing it at 602,000. And that brings fishing, as far as we could push it, to 602,000 silver per hour. Now, I want to mention, and I think channel members might know this. Again, I've been putting a lot of channel members, this and that, in my videos lately. Because I'm, I've got to make bills, please. But no, the thing with fish is there are very certain times of the year where fish sell much higher than any other time of the year. And one of those is approaching in July. So what you do is, how like I was talking about how you can refine stone, blah, blah, on bonus days? Well, fish technically has a bonus day for refining. Not really. It's not really refining fish. It's just, there's certain bonus weeks, we'll call it, where fish like double or triple in value on the market. So chopping fish is actually bad. Making fish sauce is actually bad, unless you have a chef alt, and even then you shouldn't be wasting time catching fish anyway. You should just use buy orders to get fish sauce on the cheap. But what I'm getting at is that if you do fish, you can double or triple the value of the fish on it's a few times a year. But you can sell fish at very specific times of those years and triple your value. So if we do it that way, here's the new value. And this, once you do the math for those very specific days, or months rather, or it's not really a month, it's more like a week or two. It really depends. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. SBI is very sporadic with it. And also, if you're on a dead server, it may not happen, but we'll see. In the past, it has shown that prices triple in the markets for fish. And even more so if you do it in full loot zones, you know, like fishing in red or black zones, will get you the tier 7 and 8 fish, which those triple in value on these special weeks. And so, technically, if you wait and hoard all your fish, you're making about almost 1.3 million silver per hour fishing, which beats everything we've shown, but you have to be super duper patient and wait for that bonus week. You absolutely do. And no, it is not in the activities. It's not this thing. It's not up here. It's something else special that happened around Easter. It happened. You know, we had a little fame week. Okay, the reason why the reason why it triples in value is because whales will buy all the fish in the market and eat it to power level their fishing profession. That is the only reason, okay? So you have to wait and hoard all your fish until a Fame Week happens, and then sell them on Fame Week. Or you could just buy order all the fish now and hoard up all the fish, and then when Fame Week happens, you just relist it for triple the value. That's all you got to do. It's that easy. That's a free flip for you. Now that it's public and not members only, now everyone can do it, and then no one can profit. So haha. But at the end of the day, and again, this is not a flex. I just think this is so funny. The best silver per hour is being a YouTuber because you just do this. 1,000 and 1,000, and then you sell it. Woo! That's 12 million silver. Look, man, I'm just having fun here, okay? No, but why don't we rank it now? I'm gonna rank it on the screen. So, Swole Benji, what's this best silver per hour, dude? All right, so it is fishing if you want to wait for the Fame Week, which is Easter, sometimes in Halloween, sometimes in Thanksgiving, November time, sometimes in December, sometimes randomly in February. But, like, also, if Reddit ever gets 100,000 followers, the subreddit, they're going to do a 35% Fame Week. So, yeah, expect fish to be sold out on that week. But, yeah, just a 25% regular Fame Week, you know, whenever that happens. We did have a 35% Fame Week a month ago because the game was dying. And they're like, oh, crap. Yeah, so if the population just sinks down, then they might do a Fame Week. You never know. But usually you can count on one: Halloween, Easter, Christmas. That's about it. So 3 times a year. Stone, if you're lazy. I'm lazy. I'm super lazy. I like to just click stone, watch anime, hit that refine button, and see if number go up. If number don't go up that week, then don't refine. Or wait for 20% bonus day, and then wait 2 to 3 weeks and sell. Skinning is great because you get the baby drops, and you can get a lot of baby drops. You can get a lot of them, dude. You can get like six of those stags per hour, and they're like worth 60 to 80k each on West. They're probably worth I think they're 150k right now on Europe, I believe. So yeah, that's just free money, man. Faction transport hearts. Whenever the bots come back and start doing them again, I can't find any bots right now on West, so that's a good thing. But if they do come back, you gotta get your 8.4 and hunt those suckers down. Get your friends in Discord. Have a hunting party. It's great. Dungeons are a slot machine, and every time you spin the slot machine, you're gambling with your time. Just don't do them. Don't do dungeons. They suck. Unless Robin Hinkes, you know, decides to, you know, buff them one day, which he doesn't sound like he wants to. But really, flipping is a good way to make silver, and so is referral rewards. I just want to show you something goofy, okay? So, I started recording at 7 this morning, okay? 7 this morning. This is the gathering part. And if you look, I had 8 million silver at 7 a.m. And, you know, 4 hours later, we're at 39 million. Anyway, if that's the video, what's my favorite gathering? Skinning, because the baby drops are just that good. And then stone. I hate fishing. It cramps my hand. It feels bad. I can't stand doing it for very long. But if you can, go for it. I can't watch anime and fish at the same time. It's really hard. Anyway, with that said, leave a like, leave a comment, because I read all of them. I do read all the comments, and if I leave a question of yours unanswered, it's because I've answered it before in a video or even in this video. You know, it's so annoying when people ask a question, like I make a guide video, and they ask a question that is answered in the video. It means that they didn't watch the video, they didn't pay attention, or they skipped that part, and I'm not going to save them the trouble by just typing it out for them. I don't get ad revenue for for typing comments out. I wish I did. But, you know, I'm a starving boy. And I gotta do what I gotta do to survive. So, members-only stuff, click the join button. Click the video on the right side of your screen, okay? Just do it. Just click it right now. If you don't do it, someone's gonna knock on your door at 2 in the morning, and it's gonna be really spooky. It's not even gonna be a loud knock. It's just gonna be like a little tap on your door, and you're gonna be like, what the hell, who's knocking on my door at 2 in the morning? What's going on? And you know what? If you don't click the video, what also will happen is your cat or dog is gonna wipe their ass all over your carpet. So yeah, have fun cleaning that up. Also, Blizzurg in the chat says, Soul Benji is in the background right now in my office room. Office wagey detected! Office wagey detected! Hello, office wagies! Anyway, that's it. Click the video. Click it! Click it now.